Did you call him the child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business.
So let me get this straight. This woman, who is allegedly 36 years old, called a 5-year-old black autistic boy the N-word, yet somehow made herself the victim and has nearly raised $500,000 in donations. This happened in Rochester, Minnesota, and thank goodness this bystander got it on camera. This lady was physically going after the little boy after he was messing with her kid's stuff, and then she calls him a slur.
Can we stop pretending now? Can we seriously stop pretending like racism is just a few bad apples, isolated incidences happening over the country? No, we know what it is. It is systemic. It has always been. And until we address that, it will always be. This is not shocking. If this is shocking to you, you've been living under a rock. So I'm done with that. We all should be done with that. I don't want to hear race baiting. I don't want to hear, oh, you're just playing the race card. Oh, you're just playing victim. You love playing. No, this is systemic. The reason you know it is because she verbally attacked a 5-year-old child at a park. A 5-year-old child. And instead of getting in any trouble for that, she's been giving over $200K by supporters who are happy that she was going off and calling racial slurs to a little black boy. And the people who are donating this money, they're your teachers, your lawyers, your friends, the people who handle your food, the people working on your teeth in dentist offices, your nurses, your bank officers, the people who handle your money, your politicians.
To anyone who says that racism doesn't exist in the United States, can you please explain to me the woman that just called a child the N-word and raised $600,000 in donations playing the victim? This is Trump's America. We don't see color. You are a part of the problem.
Okay, so I haven't talked about this a whole lot, but I have been so bothered by this. When I say I have been disgusted by this, there was this white woman named Shiloh Hendrix who called a black baby the N-word. And then when she was exposed, she went on to raise, I think it's at $1 million now. She has raised $1 million on this crowdfunding page for calling a black kid the N-word, right? I was so bothered by that, and everybody's like, what can we do? What can we do? Y'all know me for cyberbullying people, but that was not going to be enough. So I'm going to tell y'all what I did, okay? I've been thinking, I've been strategizing, I've been doing a little sleuthing, right? So what I thought about as a business owner, what do I want to hit? Do I want to hit her or do I want to hit the money? So I thought about that. So I started searching and trying to figure out, how can I find this funding source? I'm a business owner, I own a retail store, so I know there is a funding source. There's a pipeline somewhere, right? GiveSendGo is the platform she uses, but they are not the bank. So I thought, like, we got to find a bank. And most banks are not going to want to be attached to something like that, right? Like most banks, especially payment processors, they will cut that shit off with any type of doubt or controversy. They'll usually just cut it off, right? So what I did, I used to be a web developer, so I know how to code and I know how to read code. So I went and I broke down the code on GiveSendGo's checkout page line for line, and there were keywords I wanted to look for, right? So I looked for the keywords and I started looking through the keywords and I found the keyword Block Inc., right? That's familiar, right? Block Inc. is the parent company of Square. So I went and I did my researching, and it turns out, yeah, that's their payment processor. So I'm going to attach and I'm going to share ways we can contact both Block Inc. and Square. So we want to hit both of them so they can't ignore us, right? But there is a process to report stuff like that. And I don't know if they just didn't think we'd find it out, but yeah, we found it out. So I'm going to share how y'all can report. Stop reporting to GiveSendGo. They don't give a fuck. They supported Kyle Rittenhouse, the January 6th rioters. That is literally what they do. That platform thrives off hate. So we don't want to hit them. We want to hit the money. And see, GiveSendGo is a for-profit company, and they pretty much can do what they want to do. But when it comes to banking and payment processing in this country, we do actually have laws and regulations surrounding that. So any type of bank or payment processor has to have a clear-cut policy that prevents them from funding hateful things like that. So yes, Block and Square both have policies that prohibit the use of their platform for glorifying or amplifying or profiting off of harassment, illegal activities, racism, and yes, hate speech. So she has violated their policy by even having that campaign. I'm telling y'all, stop playing with black women in business and stop playing with black women in tech.
So you mean to tell me that that woman is going viral for calling a little black boy and she's got a GoFundMe, and people are actually praising her for calling that little boy, black boy, But are we really surprised? Like, what the? I am so glad all my black life, God ain't never placed me in those type of situations. Y'all have got to go to her GoFundMe and read the comments. Read the comments. And the man that was recording, he asked her to say it again. Lord, she said it multiple times. I could never be around and hear no shit like that. I would have treated that little boy like he was my nephew.
You know, family, I went and watched that video of that white woman that called the little baby at the playground, and she was called out by another guy who's making the video, and he's telling her, like, you know, that's hate speech. And this nasty racist bitch said that she didn't give a fuck. She said if that's what he's acting like. Then you find out the kid's fucking 5. And she said he took her kids' things. I don't know what part of America you live in, but I take my kids to the park. Been taking them to the park since forever. I got a kid that's in his 20s. I got a kid that's 17. I got a kid that's about to be 7. Kids do shit like that. I mean, to the point that we don't even really take toys to the fucking park with all these kids, because kids are inevitably gonna try to get a toy, and it's just their kids. I want to play with that. Your kid probably set it down. Another kid comes and picks it up. But this is what I'm talking about. And this is why I pain so much for all of the white people in my life that I love. Because y'all will never understand just how infuriated I am by this shit. And to know, like, this shit almost gets me emotional, to know that they raised over $500,000. Y'all already elected Donald Trump, and then you're sitting by watching him try to dismantle black history. Just
This woman pretty blatantly calls this child the N-word several times. And keep in mind, he is a 5-year-old autistic child. It's all captured on video, and you'd think, okay, she's probably going to lose her job. There's something bad's going to happen to her. Not only did that probably not happen, and in this GoFundMe, she takes full accountability for the fact that she's the one in that video, and she did, in fact, call a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word, but she was just defending herself, and she's just calling him what he is. And the amount of support that this woman is getting is actually unreal. Like I said, she has raised over $300,000. And what is so infuriating about things like this is I encounter so many people that will swear to you that, like, racism is not a thing anymore. And I think so many people forget that, like, things like racism, most of the time, they're not as black and white and cut and dry as you might want to think. It's very rare you're going to meet somebody where you go, hey, do you dislike black people? And they're going to say, yep, I hate them. Most of the time, racism is very hidden, okay? They do it in very selective ways where you can kind of find out how they actually feel based on the decisions or the things that they say.